Hello everyone! Experience the incredible power of nature, marvel at amazing animals, and uncover unexplained mysteries. Today you'll witness some of the most stunning and rare natural phenomena. Let's get it on. This massive ash column marked the beginning of a powerful eruption that triggered a devastating tsunami in December 2018. This is the terrifying force hidden within Indonesia's Krakatoa volcano.
The turtle is floating and...
Oh!
The turtle is floating and...
Oh!
Even turtles can have a bad day.
He's entertaining us.
Storm Hans wreaked havoc in Hemsedal, Norway, where a mobile home was washed away into the river.
Oh my God! I have never.
It seems like dinosaurs in Florida are still around in some way. Take a look at this impressive predator. It's 4.5 meters long. Murmuration is the astonishing ability of flocks of birds to move in sync. It's a mesmerizing sight. The sunfish stands out with its unusual look and is equally impressive for its size, as some can reach lengths of over 3 meters. A bit of electronic music, composed by nature itself at one of Minnesota's lakes. Notice the vibrant blue color of the ice in this iceberg from one of Iceland's lakes. It's a sign that it's thousands of years old. truly shocking. During road construction in Colombia, a terrible landslide occurred, sending chills down your spine. It's yet another reminder of how easily we can disrupt the fragile balance of nature and unleash chaos. Next time you want to complain about the weather, just remember this video.
Да я не думаю. О, сейчас тут, блин. Да не дотянется. Заправку-то все засыпал. Олег, тема вообще
Вот это да.
Они взорвали
Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой.
прямо в это самое. Вот мы стоим прямо на
Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой, слышь, Михалыч, давай сваливать.
Да уже
Уже поздно.
раздавал. Все занесло нас. Вообще не видно.
Да.
A mudslide is a fast-moving surge of water, mud and rocks that rushes down mountainsides after heavy rains. Few things can match its destructive power. You can only experience such emotions in Guatemala. Over half of the country is covered by the majestic Cordilleras, home to 33 volcanoes. Get ready for a serious challenge if you're afraid of spiders.
Ya nada más. Vaya.
Are you still with us? Then you might find it interesting that the video was filmed in Mexico.
Y así son millones y millones y millones de arañas patonas en este árbol nada más.
This phenomenon is known as dirty thunderstorms, which happen when lightning strikes within clouds of volcanic ash. When a wall of snow is rushing towards you, it's hard to stay calm. Fortunately, the avalanche in the Annapurna mountain range wasn't too heavy and posed no threat to the operator. The astonishing power of water. A raging river in India has swept away a solid concrete bridge. The atmosphere around mud volcanoes is always peculiar, especially when the gases released alongside the mud ignite like torches. Dramatic scene showing a sandstorm in China. Dust storms in East Asia are a seasonal weather event that takes place in the spring.
瞬间就这样了，车都在晃，好大的风呀！
During this time, dust and sand from Mongolia's deserts are swept up into dense clouds and can cover vast distances. Once the storm has taken hold, you can hardly see anything.
慢点，不用慌。哎呀，完全覆盖啊！我们被沙尘暴完全覆盖了，看到没？哎呦，这点还不一短呢，还有过去这点都重了。哟，这整个都是沙。
Just like the forecast said, there will be rain in some areas.
Come on, guys. You cannot leave the trees floating like this. It's not okay. You can't just do it. They still have not finished cutting down this tree.
The northern gannet is a large seabird with a wingspan of nearly 2 meters. These birds are excellent divers and often follow fishing boats, catching the fish that slip through the nets. This river has more crocodiles than it has water.
Caralho, será que tem pouco jacaré aí?
The forces of nature don't forgive mistakes. After intense rainfall, the dam was unable to contain the river's pressure, resulting in a rush of muddy water that cascaded down, obliterating homes, trees, and cars in its wake.
Я думал, мне покажут. Да. Все, Стенковскую дамбу прорвало. Прям, ух ты, вот это да, блин. Жесть. И она все поднимается и поднимается. Да, Илюхин дом уплыл, блин, по ходу дела.
The strange whirlpools forming on the surface of a river in China are truly a remarkable sight.
بریم اطرافش هم ببینیم.
جالبه.
از عجایب زاگرس چشمه داخل درخت.
A unique spring tree in Iran.
خیلی عجیبه. بعد منظره رو برو.
Too big to get in the picture now.
A dusty storm on the horizon looks quite unsettling, but for Australians, it's just another day. Occasionally, these storms can completely cover whole cities.
Wow. My gosh.
That scene immediately brings to mind mystical ideas.
Allahu Akbar.
Imagine stepping outside and stumbling upon an oil field right away. Here's a surprising turn. At Mocha Island in Chile, the water ignites when touched by a torch. The reason? Natural gas leaking from fissures on the ocean bed. A spectacular sight of an iceberg being born in Alaska.
Oh my god. That is incredible. Let's get out of here. Look, it's gonna lift up. They pay to go out there to watch it.
These cars are doomed. A sudden landslide has overwhelmed this small alpine town. Unlike many other crocodile species, the mugger crocodile is quite comfortable on land. It can even dig long burrows where it takes shelter during dry seasons. Besides the double rainbow, there's also a rare triple rainbow, but only a handful of people have ever seen one. Strange clouds have been observed on the ground in China, India, and the Arabian Peninsula. Some believe these are sea foam carried by air currents over long distances. What do you think? Have you ever witnessed a tornado forming during a storm? A typical sight during a typhoon, a tropical cyclone, is observed in the South China Sea region. Dukono, a volcano in Indonesia that's been active without a break since 1933. How cool would it be to see the start of its next eruption right before your eyes?
Пошла, родная! Широкая, блин!
Большущая. Огроменная, ребята, да.
Вот это да.
Это нормально.
Третья это вообще просто улет.
Смотри сюда. Сейчас через хребет, через хребет
пошла.
Давай до нашего дома, давай, иди.
Сейчас мой завалит.
Повыбивало.
Сейчас мой позавалит, где я живу. Я ж как раз там.
Смотри,
там
вот
живу.
туда, чуть-чуть разверни камеру. Вон, да.
Сейчас клубы сюда пойдут.
The breathtaking moment when ice breaks off the Perito Moreno Glacier in Patagonia shows a towering ice wall that stands about 60 meters high. For anyone who gets seasick, just watching this video could make you queasy. A ferry was caught in a tropical cyclone near Taiwan.
All right, science experiment, take one. Make sure you point it at the water.
That's incredible! This amazing glow is caused by tiny plankton that can produce bioluminescence. To start glowing, they need a stimulus, such as raindrops. Unexpected insect invasions can be a disaster. Even entomologists sometimes struggle to explain the reasons behind such sudden population surges. An incredible meeting of the elements in Iceland. A phenomenal occurrence in a cornfield. Floodwaters bring a lot of debris, which can be a useful resource. An incredible sight from the Georgia Strait in Canada. A sharp boundary can be seen where the fresh waters of the Fraser River meet the salty waters of the Pacific Ocean.
Naughty don't do minks, ja? Du får gå i det plautus, ja?
Hello everyone! From toxic deserts and high mountain peaks where the air is thin, to wandering the most dangerous streets on Earth. Get ready for a shocking journey through the world's most perilous places. Let's get it on. In quality of life rankings, Haiti often finds itself near the bottom. It's one of the most impoverished and unstable nations globally, facing ongoing issues like hunger, natural calamities, and political turmoil. Even in the capital, Port-au-Prince, where the population exceeds 2 million when including suburbs, the landscape is dominated by single-story buildings resembling slums. The streets of Haiti are filled with trash, makeshift structures, and impromptu markets. Low living standards create a breeding ground for crime. In Haiti, this has become painfully evident. Organized crime has grown so powerful that gangs now dominate whole areas and play a role in political affairs. Each year, international organizations report thousands of serious crimes here. Essentially, the entire local population suffers under the terror of gangs, which turn already harsh living conditions into a nightmare. Pripyat is an abandoned city in Ukraine that's become a legend for those fascinated by the post-apocalyptic theme. Established in 1970 as a satellite town for the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, it was evacuated on April 26, 1986, following a catastrophic accident at the plant's fourth reactor. Decades later, Pripyat still suffers from radioactive fallout and remains closed to the public. The only way for regular people to enter the exclusion zone is through authorized tourist excursions. In many areas, the radiation isn't severe enough to be a direct health hazard. Nowadays, the streets of Pripyat are cloaked in vegetation, and the dilapidated buildings featuring Soviet symbols gradually fall apart, creating an atmosphere like no other. Scientists estimate that it'll take another 50 to 60 years before people can safely return to the 30-kilometer exclusion zone surrounding the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. In that time, the radioactivity will diminish, and the most dangerous substances will be securely sealed away. The Citarum River in Indonesia is notorious for being the dirtiest river in the world. The first thing you'll notice if you visit its banks is the overwhelming stench of decaying waste, mixed with the sharp odor of chemical pollutants. The environmental statistics for the Citarum River are absolutely shocking. For instance, the concentration of lead exceeds the safe drinking water standard by a staggering 1,000 times, and the level of fecal coliform bacteria is 5,000 times above acceptable limits. About 5 million people live in the river basin. Most of them lack access to proper waste disposal, leading to a situation where everything, including vast amounts of plastic, is either burned or thrown into the river. Another part of the problem is the industry. The region is home to over 2,000 factories, primarily textile mills, that discharge chemical waste directly into the river. According to environmentalists, 60% of the fish population in the Citarum River has died due to pollution. Additionally, people forced to use this water for daily needs and cooking suffer from a wide range of health issues, including dermatitis, chronic bronchitis, cancer, and developmental delays in children. In 2009, the Asian Development Bank allocated $500 million for a river cleanup project, yet the situation remains dire. Activists claim that many factories are still polluting the river through hidden pipes. It's hard to believe that in the 21st century there are still tribes living in complete isolation from civilization. One such tribe is the Sentinelese, known for their fierce nature. They inhabit North Sentinel Island, a small island in the Bay of Bengal that's part of the Andaman Archipelago. The island is entirely covered in dense tropical forest and is surrounded by a protective coral reef, which, however, suffered significant damage from a powerful tsunami in December 2004. We have very limited information about the island and its inhabitants, because these Sentinelese don't allow anyone to approach their shores. They immediately attack boats and helicopters with bows and arrows and show no intention of making contact. Anthropologists believe this tribe has lived in complete isolation for around 30,000 years, maintaining a lifestyle akin to that of Stone Age hunter-gatherers. The exact number of Sentinelese remains unknown, as dense jungles shield them from aerial observation. The air and ground are gripped by an incredible cold, with temperatures dropping below -50 degrees Celsius. This extreme weather is typical for the remote region of Yakutia, also known as the Republic of Sakha, located in the heart of Russian Siberia. This vast northern territory covers over 3 million square kilometers, which is 4.5 times larger than Texas. The sharply continental climate is marked by short summers and long winters that stretch from October through April. Oymyakon, found in Yakutia, is renowned for being one of the coldest places on the planet. This small village, with approximately 500 residents, holds the record for the lowest temperatures in the Northern Hemisphere. In 1933, the local weather station recorded a staggering -67.7 degrees Celsius. This severe climate turns life into a real trial, influencing everything from how homes are built to the clothing needed for maximum protection. Simply breathing the cold air can be challenging. so using a scarf is advisable. Instead of growing crops, people here often go ice fishing, and vehicles usually remain running for months. If you turn off the engine overnight, it may freeze up and become impossible to start. Lahore is the capital of the Punjab province and the second largest city in Pakistan, with a metropolitan population of around 10 million people. Lately, this large city has been grappling with severe air pollution, which is causing respiratory illnesses in the local population. The dense smog, noticeable even to the eye, is produced by various factories, the incineration of farm waste, and emissions from diesel vehicles. During still weather, it's really hard to breathe in this area, and not many households can afford air purifiers. Environmental experts estimate that the air quality index stands at 348, significantly above the dangerous level of 300. This is why you can't be calm living next to a volcano. Mount Sinabung, a stratovolcano in northern Sumatra, Indonesia, stands at 1,133 meters. Locals had no worries for over 400 years, but everything changed in August 2010 when the volcano erupted unexpectedly. The gas and ash emissions forced residents of 12 nearby villages to abandon their homes and flee to safety. Since then, Sinabung has remained active, with about 10 eruptions occurring over the past few years. These eruptions have included lava flows and volcanic ash columns, with hot gas reaching altitudes of up to 3 kilometers. Following the powerful eruption on February 11, 2014, this part of Sumatra became nearly abandoned. In total, around 20,000 people had to relocate to other areas due to the volcanic activity. A journey along the Amazon River can be quite an adventurous and risky experience. This mighty river flows into the Atlantic Ocean, forming one of the largest deltas in the world, covering over 100,000 square kilometers. The Amazon rainforest is astonishingly rich in biodiversity, home to more than 1 million different species of plants and animals. It's truly a global genetic treasure. Within this rich ecosystem, there are several aggressive species that pose lethal risks to humans. Jungle adventurers must be wary of poisonous snakes, giant anacondas, and centipedes. In the water, one should be particularly cautious of the black caiman, which can reach lengths of over 4.5 meters, as well as the fearsome piranha with its dangerously sharp teeth. The Danakil Depression, found in the northern Afar Basin in the Ethiopia-Eritrea border, offers some of the most surreal and colorful landscapes on Earth. This unique geographical formation is full of mysteries, featuring sulfur springs, volcanoes, geysers, acidic pools, and vast salt flats. One thing is certain about Danakil: the conditions here are utterly inhospitable to humans. This 250-kilometer long depression is one of the lowest places on Earth, sitting 125 meters below sea level and claiming the title of the hottest place based on average temperature. It never drops below 34 degrees Celsius throughout the year, and rain is a rare occurrence, falling only a few times annually. The air is heavy with the scent of rust, hydrogen sulfide, and chlorine due to volcanic and geothermal activity. The lakes are so salty that birds that accidentally plunge into them die almost instantly. Even for the Afar people who have roamed these lands for centuries, visiting the toxic lowlands is a daunting challenge. Scientists studying extreme environments and ecosystems refer to expeditions here as journeys into a realm of death. Mount Everest, also known as Sagarmatha or Komalangma, is the world's highest peak, standing at 8,848 meters. The Sherpas in eastern Nepal refer to it as the mountain above which birds cannot fly. Located in the Himalayas within the Mahalanga Himal range, it forms the border between Nepal and Tibet. Its summit resembles a three-sided pyramid, characterized by a steep southern slope that barely retains snow and ice. Being the highest mountain on the planet, Everest has long captivated climbers. The first successful summit was achieved in 1953 by local Sherpa Tenzing Norgay and New Zealander Edmund Hillary. By 1983, just 8 people had managed to reach the top, as the climbing conditions are notoriously difficult. To navigate the challenging terrain, it's important to consider the weather conditions on all potential routes to the summit. In July, the average daily temperature on top of Everest is minus 19 degrees Celsius, but in winter, it can plummet to minus 36 degrees, with extreme lows of minus 60 degrees. Moreover, the summit lies at the edge of a high-altitude jet stream, making it prone to storms with wind speeds reaching 160 kilometers per hour. Summer monsoons can also result in heavy snowfall on Everest.
Oh, well.
At an altitude of 7,925 meters, climbers enter the death zone. The air here contains only a third of the oxygen found at sea level, which is why most climbers use oxygen masks. Numerous fatalities among high-altitude climbers stem from the harsh conditions of the death zone, including both direct effects like oxygen deprivation and low pressure, and indirect effects such as stress and fatigue that can result in tragic mistakes. Over the past 100 years of Everest expeditions, more than 300 climbers have died. Fatalities have been caused not only by health problems, but also by avalanches, falls, and ice calving. The legendary favelas of Rio de Janeiro have a notorious reputation. These areas are marked by inexpensive, haphazard construction, where poverty and crime prevail, and violence has become a way of life. The term favela has its roots in the late 19th century, initially describing an area on the Morro de Favela hill where the first slums began to emerge. The early inhabitants of these shacks were often former soldiers, refugees, freed slaves, and poor immigrants from Europe. Throughout the 20th century, the growth of favelas was fueled by urbanization and escalating social challenges. Today, unemployment and organized crime associated with illegal substances are still major issues. Today, approximately 1.5 million people live in Rio's informal settlements. These favelas, spread out over the hills, are controlled by various gangs. For visitors or oblivious tourists without a guide, exploring these neighborhoods can come at a high cost. The police typically only show up during raids. Despite government's efforts to develop infrastructure and integrate these neighborhoods, they still function as a separate realm with their own strict rules. Over recent years, Fukushima has emerged as a widely recognized symbol of the grave risks associated with nuclear energy. On March 11, 2011, Japan experienced its most powerful earthquake ever, registering 9 on the Richter scale. The most tragic outcome of these events was the radiation disaster at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, which was rated a maximum level 7 incident on the International Nuclear Event Scale. The tsunami almost instantly disabled the power plant, taking out the emergency cooling systems as well. This caused the reactors to overheat, resulting in the melting of the nuclear fuel and explosions in 3 reactor blocks from March 12 to 15. A large quantity of volatile radioactive substances was released into the environment, with iodine and cesium, considered particularly hazardous to health, making up roughly 20% of the emissions seen during the Chernobyl incident. Cesium is especially concerning due to its long half-life of 30 years, leading to lasting contamination. Due to the dangerous level of contamination, the government evacuated approximately 164,000 residents from Fukushima Prefecture and created a 20-kilometer exclusion zone around the nuclear station. Although cleanup efforts began almost immediately after the disaster, many municipalities have been deemed safe for resettlement, Yet people are hesitant to return to contaminated areas. For instance, in one of the reconstruction and revival zones, which covers 28 square kilometers and used to be home to 8,000 residents, only 160 have returned after decontamination. Over the years, without human presence, once cozy places have transformed into eerie, post-apocalyptic landscapes. No other country faces the devastating force of tornadoes like the United States, which sees about 1,000 tornadoes annually. A particularly dangerous area known as Tornado Alley includes parts of the central and southern states, northern Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and eastern regions of South Dakota and Colorado. There are clear reasons for this zonal pattern. In the heart of the US, warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico collides with cold, dry winds from the north. This results in temperature inversions and an unstable atmosphere, which can trigger intense thunderstorms, hail, and tornadoes. Tornado Alley is particularly hazardous from April to June, attracting storm chasers from all over the globe during these months. For those who live here permanently, the threat of tornadoes is a constant source of anxiety. The cities in these states have strict building codes, and many structures are equipped with underground shelters. Additionally, residents are warned of approaching tornadoes by special sirens. Despite these precautions, the force of nature can be overwhelming. This video shows the aftermath of a powerful EF3 tornado that struck the town of Andover, Kansas in the spring of 2022, destroying over 100 homes in just a few minutes. The Death Valley in California is arguably one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. Nestled in the Mojave Desert, this basin between the mountains lies southeast of the Sierra Nevada mountain range. Rainfall here is a rare event, with an average annual total of less than 10 millimeters. However, the area enjoys plenty of sunshine, with average high temperatures in July reaching 46 degrees Celsius. In fact, back in 1913, it recorded the highest temperature ever measured in the Western Hemisphere, at a scorching 56.7 degrees Celsius. The climactic phenomenon of the basin, which is also the lowest point in North America at 86 meters below sea level, poses a serious threat to travelers. Tourists are strongly advised to carry communication devices, water, and clothing that protects against sunburn. The valley was named after a tragic event in 1849, when a gold prospector died here from the sweltering heat. It's hard to believe that in the 21st century, ships still need to be equipped with defenses against pirate boarding. In response to the piracy crisis that escalated in the Gulf of Aden in the early 2000s, sailors from various countries had to take certain measures. This gulf, located in the Arabian Sea, plays a crucial economic role as a shipping route for transporting oil from the Persian Gulf to Europe. Criminals from Somalia, a country ravaged by civil war, took advantage of this situation. A large segment of the population has turned to piracy as a way of life. Equipped with guns and grenade launchers, pirates in small boats launched assaults on tankers and civilian ships, subsequently demanding ransoms in the millions for their release. Several dozen sailors have either died or disappeared as a result of these attacks. In just a few years, pirates have captured numerous vessels, with their profits exceeding the GDP of Somalia. In 2010 alone, the damage caused by ship seizures amounted to $8 billion. It wasn't until 2012, after the UN passed a resolution allowing military vessels from various countries to enter Somali territorial waters and engage with pirates, that regular maritime piracy was effectively curtailed. Seen from above, the 43-hectare Queimada Grande Island looks beautiful and enticing. However, that charm fades once you learn its dark secret. In fact, it's illegal to even approach this island off the coast of Sao Paulo, Brazil. This place is one of the most dangerous in the world, home to around 4,000 snakes. This natural serpentarium formed around 11,000 years ago when rising sea levels cut the island off from the mainland. As a result, a massive endemic population of golden lancehead vipers emerged here, with an incredible density of 1 to 5 snakes per square meter, making it nearly impossible for a person to move without stepping on one. Hundreds of golden lanceheads lie on the beach, while on trees and bushes they twist together in enormous coils. These snakes are quite large, reaching up to 1 meter in length, with thick heads and a golden color adorned with dark spots. The intense competition for food has made them champions of venom toxicity. A mouse bitten by one dies within 2 seconds, and their venom is also deadly to humans, leading to a range of horrific consequences, including kidney failure, internal bleeding, and tissue necrosis. These desolate places feel like a strange dream or scenes from a video game. In this video, we see Tianducheng, one of China's ghost towns, a scaled-down version of Paris. We often think of ghost towns as once thriving places that have become deserted. However, in modern China, it's quite the opposite. There are entirely new developments, neighborhoods, or even entire cities built to accommodate large populations, but now left uninhabited. A case in point is Tianducheng, which was built in 2007 with the intention of housing 10,000 people. The causes are rooted in the economic sector. For many years, the country enjoyed a construction boom, but in certain regions, developments were made hastily without analyzing the market. Sometimes, people buy properties as investments but don't move into new buildings due to lack of infrastructure. One notable example is Ordos City. Established in 2004 at the center of the coal industry, a suburb was designed for 1 million residents. Yet, only 30,000 people relocated there in the first 8 years. It's intriguing that in the lively and bustling environment of China, we find such deserted and eerily quiet places. These aren't exactly the charming animals you hope to see while exploring nature. But on Fraser Island off the eastern coast of Australia, it's quite common. The world's largest sand island spans 1,840 square kilometers and is literally teeming with wildlife that isn't particularly friendly to humans. Over the past 750,000 years, volcanic sand has accumulated on the island, forming dunes that shift continuously through dense mangrove forests and swamps. Over the course of evolution, a unique and isolated ecosystem has developed here, featuring 47 species of animals, 354 species of birds, and 79 species of reptiles, including 19 types of snakes. Among the local spider population is the Hadroniche infensa spider, one of the most venomous spiders on the planet. The most notable inhabitants of Fraser Island are the dingoes, with a population of around 200. Warnings about these reddish dogs are posted everywhere, and campgrounds are fenced with electric barriers. Visitors and fishermen should keep in mind that although they may look innocent, dingoes are wild pack animals and can be quite dangerous. "300 meters beneath the Mexican town of Naica lies one of the most captivating places on Earth, the Cave of Crystals. This remarkable section of a mine where silver, zinc, and lead are extracted was discovered by miners in 2000. Giant selenite crystals stretch across the cave in various directions, with the largest measuring an astonishing 11 meters long, 4 meters wide, and weighing 55 tons. But don't be too quick to celebrate. The beauty of this cave can be deceptive. This place poses serious risks to health and life. The cave is constantly flooded, and water must be removed. Humidity levels reach 100%, and temperatures inside the cave can soar to 58 degrees Celsius. Even with cooling equipment, you can't stay here for more than 20 minutes. Otherwise, water will start to condense in your lungs. The Crystal Cave showcases nature's power and beauty, but it also serves as a reminder of the fragility of human life. The Boiling Lake is located in the island nation of Dominica, surrounded by the tropical forests of Montois-Piton National Park. You can't drive to the lake. Visitors will have to trek approximately 13 kilometers through beautiful paths, navigating the Titel Gorge, the Breakfast River, and the Sulphur Springs in the Valley of Desolation. Those who make it there are greeted by a strange sight, a lake that resembles a boiling cauldron filled with a greyish liquid. Swimming in this 60-meter wide body of water is definitely a bad idea, as the temperature in the boiling lake reaches 92 degrees Celsius. There are also pockets of hot air or even lava underneath. This phenomenon occurs because Boiling Lake is a flooded fumarole, an opening in the rock at the base of a volcano. Water from the streams and rainfall seeps down into the magma, heating up to a boiling point and dissolving various chemical substances. Even being near the lake is uncomfortable, as the air is hot and humid with a strong sulfur smell. The invisible steam particles rising from the lake can also be dangerous for your skin and eyes. Hello everyone! From workplace mishaps to funny moments in nature, it's time to check out the new compilation of the best videos from around the web. Let's get it on. Not everyone's ready to embrace new technologies on their phone. It's clear that this isn't going to end well. He would struggle to explain this false call without the video footage. It's true that even cops have their first day at work.
Look at that. Just look at it. Just look at it. Yeah, well. What the is that?
Теперь не спеши, тут притормаживай чуть-чуть. Притормаживай. Притормаживай. Ой.
Father, please.
Look, man. I told you I don't do seatbelts.
the best way to teach someone to use a seatbelt. Someone tell her that at this rate, it might be time to switch to an SUV.
Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's okay. It's okay. They're friendly.
I don't like that. I don't like.
Is die groot? Is die wordt er aan de loop. Dus al die jongen in het sport veranderd worden.
I can't tell if they're fighting or reconciling. The poor thing never imagined it'd be the first casualty in the war against the machines.
Would you like to play with us?
It seems his new boss is a bit smaller, but much more demanding.
Come on in. I want to get this on film, right? You guys want to be in this? Back to the funniest videos.
The guy clearly wasn't planning on picking up a hitchhiker. Luckily, the bird wasn't harmed and almost managed to leave the car on its own. In a couple of seconds, they'll scream more naturally.
Whoa, that's one. Look here. Hold on.
Therapist. Videos from the internet can't hurt you. The video.
What? What? Mana? Why?
You think you're having a bad day at work?
Мне даже не сложно, если честно, дорогие друзья. Маша, молодец, меня опять здесь, да?
Mevrouw, volgens mij elektrisch.
Given the repair costs for a Rolls-Royce, they decided it'd be cheaper to get a new back.
Ahí viene mi chalán. Pásame el cubetazo. No tiembles. Pásamelo, pues. Pásamelo. No tiembles. Ay, no, qué risa.
Say funny now.
Cache Restaurant has blood on their hands.
Let's not forget that behind every gorgeous picture on social media, there's often a price to pay. Looks like he forgot to release the handbrake.
Già tu dva.
This is what happens when design isn't well thought out.
No, I'm not okay.
Top reasons to hate elevators. Number 1. And here's number 2. It's hard to say exactly what his plan was. but clearly something went wrong. This woman's like, the insurance company's on its way, and it's such a mess here. This capybara reminds you to never give up. The most NPC-like fall you've ever seen. That's something from Looney Tunes.
Two tickets are yours, brother. Perfect. Thank you so much. All good, man. Who are you going to take along with you, man? I have no idea. Ah, well, if you need someone else to come along with you, you can also lend me one, yeah? Yeah, I'll blame you. Fly FM.
You're gonna pour a little bit of soap on you. Close your eyes. That's good. It's good. All right, start washing the top of your body. Start doing your body. There you go, like you're taking a bath. There we go. I'm gonna bring my shop around. All right, well, just like you're taking a bath.
Hit the like button if you deal with life problems the same way. Looks like the unloading went faster than expected. How to save 10 minutes by avoiding traffic jams and waste a couple of hours waiting for a tow truck.
Who's that? Why did she just take my burger?
This is what the perfect prank in the restaurant looks like.
Sorry, set out. Hello, what?
faire, frérot.
Ouais, de toute façon, je te connais, t'auras pas le courage de sauter dedans. Au point où t'en es, tu pourrais le faire sans déconner.
Pardon.
Ah non.
On va le faire. Qu'est-ce que j'ai pas dit? Est-ce qu'elle est bonne?
When you're trying to keep an eye on your friend after a night out at the bar.
I'm so sorry.
They say Buddhists learn Zen from her. Who would have thought that pools with foam also need lifeguards? If the word problem could be captured in a single video. The window cleaner really earned his bonus. Good thing she wasn't holding a phone. The most elegant trap ever created by mankind.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Check out this cool tip for presenting cash as a gift.
No, dale que ya lo mío no lo da, loco. Dale, tienes que agarrar.
But make sure it's prop money.
La sonda, huevón. ¿Por qué no la agarraste?
Quería que la agarrara.
Oh，一会儿咱俩被压下边都。
哦，弄那个水手。
啊，这个水手吗？
你有事？我在哪儿？
快出来！
Please stand behind the yellow line.
It seems like the guy's too strong for this gym.
尖尖叫速度比赛。
你来的体积比我差嘞。
Something tells me she didn't earn that diploma.
Nee, in je mond. In je mond.
He found a great trick to guarantee that he'd take the prize home. Graphene, diamond, and Kevlar are nothing compared to the strength of this bottle. In any confusing situation, just act like it was all part of the plan. Sometimes a homemade seasoning can feel more festive than popping open a bottle of champagne. They were clearly expecting a more generous gift. If you don't study physics in school, life will eventually teach you its lessons. Hello everyone. Some bridges can be downright scary, while others are marvels of engineering genius. But whether they are terrifying or awe-inspiring, they're always fascinating. These aren't the ordinary bridges we cross daily. We've put together a collection of the most extraordinary ones from around the world, so let's get it on. People have long used drawbridges to let ships pass, but they keep coming up with creative alternatives. A great example is the Millennium Bridge in northern England, the world's first tilting bridge. When a vessel approaches, the bridge tilts to let it through. Naturally, pedestrians aren't allowed on it at that moment, but once a daredevil attempted to cross it while it was moving. The Goteg Viaduct in Myanmar is an awe-inspiring yet somewhat frightening sight. Once the largest railway viaduct in the world, it measures 689 meters in length and towers 102 meters above the ground. Remarkably, it was built in 1899 during British colonial rule. Today, it remains one of the country's most famous landmarks. Trains travel slowly across the bridge to prevent further wear on the century-old structure, which is no longer in the best condition. Still, it provides passengers with ample opportunity to gaze down at the deep chasm beneath. At first glance, the Nanpu Bridge in Shanghai may not seem particularly remarkable, but trust me, it's called one of the most beautiful bridges in the world for a reason. Just take a look at the stunningly intricate road interchange it flows into. Because of its unique design, it's sometimes referred to as the Spiral Bridge, and at night, the city lights make it an absolutely mesmerizing sight. Unlike a regular bridge, a viaduct links two elevated points, not two shores. The Millau Viaduct, built in France in 2004, is still the tallest in the world. One of its pylons reaches a height of 343 meters, which is 19 meters higher than the Eiffel Tower. The total length of the bridge is 2,460 meters. In essence, it's more than just a road suspended in the air, it's a remarkable feat of human engineering. Another incredible structure from China is the Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge, located in the national park of the same name. Spanning 430 meters in length and 6 meters in width, it stretches 300 meters above the ground. Its transparent glass floor gives visitors a breathtaking view of the canyon below. The bridge also features a bungee jumping platform with a staggering 300-meter drop, making it the highest in the world. Would you dare to walk across it? Let us know in the comments. No one would want to end up living under a bridge, but that's exactly what the people in a Chinese village did. They transformed this unusual predicament into something extraordinary. They built a 400-meter-long housing complex on the bridge, blending Chinese and European architecture into an awe-inspiring sight for visitors. This highway is a strong argument in the discussion about reducing traffic jams. Many think wider roads will fix the issue, but this 50-lane freeway clearly shows that's not the case. The road between Beijing and Zhuhai is one of the busiest in the world. It was originally designed to handle 20,000 vehicles per day, but by 2007, traffic had already doubled to 40,000 cars daily. The worst congestion occurs on the eve of Chinese New Year. The materials used for this bridge include ropes, 472 planks, and a bit of luck and horror. The Husseini Bridge in Pakistan doesn't forgive mistakes. Just look at the gaps between the planks.
Okay, I admit it, this is dangerous.
Pessimists might say this bridge is half-built, but there's a logical reason for the sparse number of planks. It helps reduce the bridge's sail effect, allowing it to withstand the strong winds that are common here. Mount Hua in China is not for the faint-hearted. One of its trails is ominously called the Plank Walk of Death, which is enough to scare off the unprepared. Yet, thrill seekers line up to take on the challenge.
下来的把队伍跟紧啊，跟紧队伍就不害怕。啊？水柱是水柱，当然体谅是支付宝都可以过。算了就往前走，考虑好，回来想拍都没有，拍了一天了，要对得起那自己的。
Despite the many safety harnesses, there are no railings along the way. Vizcaya Bridge is a remarkable engineering feat, connecting the towns of Portugalete and Las Arenas in Spain's Biscay province. Completed in 1893, it was the world's first transporter bridge, carrying both people and vehicles across on a suspended gondola. Standing 45 meters tall with a central span of 160 meters, the bridge's gondola can carry up to 6 cars and several dozen passengers at a time, crossing the river in just 90 seconds. The bridge operates 24/7, transporting about 6 million people annually.
Необычно. Первый раз в жизни я делаю такой подвиг.
Ну, попробуем заснять это от первого лица, как говорится. О, блин. Сань, чуть правее.
There are times when something as simple as crossing a bridge turns into an act of heroism. The Vitim Bridge in Russia is considered one of the most dangerous crossings in the world, which is why traffic has been officially banned since 2016. Despite this, some daredevils still try to cross it, even in trucks, even after ice floes have taken out some of its support. There are no guardrails, so all they have to depend on is their driving skills, and of course, a bit of luck.
Это сколько надо иметь мужества, чтобы на большой машине здесь поехать. Мост довольно-таки длинный. Едем потихоньку.
Imagine driving across a bridge when suddenly it disappears right into the water. That's exactly how the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel works, a unique structure that connects Virginia with the East Coast. This engineering marvel stretches over 28 kilometers, featuring bridges, causeways, and 2 underwater tunnels. This allows ships to pass above while cars dive below the surface. It's one of the most breathtaking roads on the planet. Sometimes, a true engineering marvel can be found in the most unexpected places. The Dachstein Bridge in Austria is a perfect example. It's built directly on a glacier at an altitude of 2,700 meters, stretching 100 meters long. To reach it, you'll need to take a cable car. However, if you want to fully enjoy the mountain views, make sure to check the weather forecast in advance, or you might find yourself in a situation like this. Not far from Dachstein, there's another nerve-wracking attraction for thrill seekers. At over 2,000 meters above sea level, tourists can experience what's called the Stairway to Heaven. If you manage to keep your knees from shaking, you'll be rewarded with stunning views of the Dachstein Glacier and Austria's highest peak, the Grossglockner. This astonishing piece of engineering really makes you stop and think. Instead of building a bridge for vehicles over the water, the engineers did the opposite. They made the water flow right over the bridge. The Øresund Bridge is a truly majestic structure. Its impressive size is no coincidence. It connects two countries, Denmark and Sweden. Stretching 16 kilometers in total, it includes a 4-kilometer underwater tunnel. Additionally, the bridge features a railway, making it the longest combined road and rail bridge in Europe. At first glance, this bridge may remind you of a roller coaster, but it's actually more like driving a Japanese roller coaster in your own car. The Ishima Ohashi Bridge can appear pretty terrifying, but in reality it only feels dangerous from the outside. The empty spaces in the structure create the illusion of a steeper slope, while in the car, the unevenness is barely felt. Still, its other name, Beta Fumizaka, which translates to pedal to the metal hill, suggests that if you don't floor it, you won't make it up the bridge. It seems China's on a mission to set a record for the most unique bridges, and the Ruyi Bridge is yet another example. While it doesn't aim for records in length or height, its design certainly turns heads. With 2 winding levels that visitors can walk along and a glass structure that adds an extra thrill, this bridge is truly one of a kind. Imagine a bridge not for cars, but for boats. Now check out how it actually looks. The Saart Canal in Belgium is an engineering marvel, stretching 498 meters and connecting 2 waterways, while transporting 80,000 tons of water. Built with 65,000 tons of concrete, it's so seamlessly integrated into the landscape that it could easily be mistaken for a regular road. Who said roundabouts can't be beautiful? Actually, there is no actual roundabout here, and drivers have no choice but to go straight ahead. So, why the unusual bridge design? First of all, the creators of this structure in Uruguay wanted to make more than just a crossing. They aimed to create a landmark. Secondly, the design helps separate opposing traffic flows, reducing the risk of accidents. And since the speed limit on the bridge is set at 30 km per hour, drivers have time to enjoy the local scenery. It's an engineering design that balances both aesthetics and function. Can crossing a bridge become an unforgettable experience? If it's one of London's bridges, absolutely. Before you step on it, you'll want to pull out your camera as the bridge first opens up in front of you. It must feel so strange to walk over water where just a minute ago there was nothing. At first glance, this pedestrian and cyclist bridge in Copenhagen may seem like just another modern design, but it has a unique feature. Since ships pass through the city's inner harbour, the bridge needs to lift to let them through. To do this, the bridge is divided into several segments that open up when needed. If an architect designs a bridge that looks like an amusement park ride, you know they did something right. This unusual bridge in Japan is mainly intended for tourists who can take their time cruising down at 40 km/h while enjoying the scenic views. What's even more impressive is that it was built back in 1982. Some places in the world are simply too stunning to walk away from without taking a photo, and the Golden Bridge in Vietnam is a perfect example. At first glance, it's just a 150-meter-long pedestrian bridge, but what sets it apart are two massive stone hands that seem to cradle the structure. Though purely decorative, they give the bridge its distinctive charm. Not surprisingly, ever since it was built, tourism in the area has skyrocketed. The bridge leading to Mount A. Petri is in Crimea, and it's definitely not a place you'd want to go without safety gear. After all, the suspension bridge hangs at 1,234 meters above the ground, and those wooden planks don't exactly inspire confidence. Some places are so intriguing that you can't help but want to take a peek inside. What about a bridge? The Ponte Vecchio in Florence is a perfect example. It's much more than a bridge. It's a historical treasure in its own right. Built in 1345, it was once a bustling market, and since the 16th century it's been known as the Golden Bridge, home to jewelers' shops. These still remain today, making the Ponte Vecchio a jewel not only in terms of architecture, but also history. Sometimes, structures become monuments to their era. This is somewhat true for the Brookport Bridge, which connects Kentucky and Illinois. Built in 1929, it was magnificent at the time. However, today, its narrow lanes and grated surface make it quite difficult to cross. Most commercial vehicles can't pass through. Just take a look at how closely the opposing traffic flows pass by each other. If you think this bridge looks incredibly long, you're absolutely right. It's the longest suspension bridge in the world, stretching 721 meters and located in the Czech Republic. The fear might not leave you for a second, but the unforgettable experience will make it all worth it. Switzerland is renowned for its breathtaking natural landscapes, and while you can admire them from anywhere, the Trift Bridge, hanging 100 meters above the lake of the same name, stands out as one of the best spots. Originally built by an energy company for work in the area, it was later upgraded and opened to the public. Since then, visitors have been able to stand there speechless as the sight is simply overwhelming. The Gulch Viaduct is one of those structures built long ago, yet it still impresses with its craftsmanship. It remains the largest brick viaduct in the world, and it's unlikely that will change anytime soon. Standing at a height of 74 meters, it was opened in 1851, and it continues to serve as part of the high-speed route connecting Dresden and Nuremberg. Looks like people in Denmark are not keen on building conventional bridges. The Circle Bridge, inspired by sailboats, is designed for both pedestrian traffic and various types of maritime vessels. The platforms can be raised to let small boats pass, while for larger vessels, the central section slides aside. The bridge can be operated by ship captains, making it more flexible and user-friendly. If there were an award for the world's most unusual engineering structures, the Slauerhof Bridge in the Netherlands would be a top contender. Its mechanism is hard to imagine until you see it in action. Often called the Flying Drawbridge, it earns its name. When a ship needs to pass, a section of the bridge lifts into the air using a special system before settling back into place. Take a look at this pedestrian bridge design in Singapore. Its double helix shape is inspired by the structure of human DNA. The bridge also offers stunning views of the city and ocean, making it a popular spot for photo shoots. When it gets dark, it starts to glow with a variety of lights. The lights are labeled with pairs of colored letters, C, G, A, and T. At night, they shine in red and green, representing cytosine, guanine, adenine, and thymine, the four base components of DNA. This bridge might have gone unnoticed if it weren't for one unique feature. The Tianjin Eye in China is the world's only Ferris wheel built directly into a bridge. With a diameter of 110 meters, it takes 30 minutes to complete a full rotation. The view from up there is simply spectacular.